Okay, so we would like to find the intervals of monotonicity of the function x over x squared plus 9 and also determine the local extrema. So simply speaking, we need to find where where the derivative of this function is positive and where it's negative, and then the local extrema will be determined by the shape of the graph. Okay, so what is the derivative? The derivative can be easily found by using the quotient rule. So it's the derivative of the numerator times the denominator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator divided by the denominator squared. And this, of course, will give us 9 minus x squared. We have x squared minus 2x squared over x squared plus 9 all squared. So if we set this equal to 0, then we get that the numerator is equal to 0, which means that x is equal to plus or minus 3. Okay. So since the derivative changes sign at 3 and negative 3, and it's nowhere else 0, that means that it's going to have constant sign on the intervals in between those numbers. So we know that it's 0 here and here. And then at these three intervals, it's not going to change sign. So all we need to do is just plug in actually the key behind the statement is continuity. We have a continuous function. So what we need to do is just plug in a number from each interval and figure out what the sign is. So for example, if we plug in 4, we'll get 9 minus 16 on the numerator, which will give us a negative number here. The denominator is always positive. It's a perfect square. We don't have to worry about it. We get the same thing if we plug in negative 4. So we would get a negative number. And simply speaking, for the interval in the middle, if we plug in 0, we get a positive number. So that means that our function is decreasing, increasing, and then decreasing. And you can see now that at negative 3, it needs to have a local minimum. Whereas at 3, it will have a local maximum. And as for the intervals of monotonicity, we can give our answer by saying that f is decreasing on negative infinity to negative 3. F is increasing on negative 3 to 3. And f is decreasing on 3 to positive infinity. And that's it. Thanks for watching.